1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Welcome everyone here at the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Wade. We are here on KCAA Radio Network, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. KCAA Radio is an official NBC station covering 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles, and we are also on your favorite streaming channels like iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Pandora, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So just name it, we are there. You can also find our previous shows at the Building Solid Foundations channel via Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android app. Just make sure that you subscribe to Building Solid Foundations channel. So today I'm really excited to inform you that we're going to talk about trademarks, copyrights, and intellectual property protection. These are the things that we need to learn in order to become successful with our business and making sure that we are doing the right thing and implementing the right process to protect our business so we can build our wealth with no problems at all. So let me share with you who is going to be my guest today. Her name is Celeste. She is the Empress of Trademarks. She is your go-to trademark pro, your partner in seamlessly registering trademarks. When it comes to trademark registration, Celeste is in a league of her own with an impressive track record of 100% registered trademarks. She's not just a specialist, she's the real deal. With 8 years in the field, Celeste's trademark prowess is unmatched. She's not just a speaker. She's a trademark maestro who simplifies the legal jargon and turns it into actionable platinum for business worldwide. Celeste doesn't stop at the podium. She's a hands-on expert who's held the hands of startups and medium-sized businesses alike, guiding them through the intricate dance of trademark applications with finesse. Her global grasp of trademark laws ensures your brand is protected on the grand stage. With a law degree from Copenhagen University and several awards, Celeste blends expertise with a personal touch. Her mission isn't just about getting trademarks on paper, it's about propelling your brand forward and upward. In a world where brands make the rules, Celeste ensures your brand's voice is heard loud and clear. Ready to make your mark? Make sure you let Celeste lead the way. So let's go ahead and welcome Celeste, the Empress of Trademark.
Thank you so much, Marie, for having me here today. I'm so excited and honored to be here. This is going to be such a fantastic episode.
So Celeste, how did it all start for you with your trademark services?
So I started studying the law when I was 35 because I had managed to make myself believe I wasn't intelligent enough to study the law. We're not going to go into that now. And then when I finished, I was 41 because I failed the first year. And there were some events along the way that made me think, I wonder what's going on here. And so when I was 41, I finished, so it took me 7 years to study the law, where it normally takes other people 5 years. And in Denmark, when you study the law from day one. And so at 41, I decided, okay, there's definitely something up here with me. I don't know what it is. So I went to get myself tested for dyslexia, and it turns out that, yes, I am somebody experiencing dyslexia. That accounted for the fact that I took so long, with the different exams that when I was sitting the exams, I felt as though I was more stupid than everybody else, because it felt as if they were we were all given the assignment at the same time, and then we were supposed to start reading and then typing the responses. And I just felt so stupid and silly because I didn't understand why everybody else was so fast, and I felt so slow compared to the others. And of course, it's the dyslexia that meant that I had to read at a slower pace. I didn't know that. Now I do know, and I did get tested. They couldn't test the full extent because I was an adult at the time I got tested, and nobody had actually caught on to the fact that I am experiencing dyslexia. So it wasn't. I didn't have any special assistance or anything. And despite experiencing dyslexia, I have written a book called Control Your Own Copyright, Trademark, and More, and it can be found on Amazon. I will provide the link. I think I already have provided the link to Marie, and you can find it on Amazon. You can also find it on my website, should you be so inclined. So yeah, that's a little bit more about me and how it started with law. And when I got to the, actually, let me just add this. When I got to my master's degree, that's when I specialized in intellectual property. When I came across it, I just fell in love, and I've never looked back. I love intellectual property so much.
Yeah. Can you share a story in regards to how it really affects a business if they don't file a trademark?
Yes, actually, there are several different incidents where it has affected a business when they hadn't registered a trademark, and I know. Hang on, what was I? Yes, so there, when I first moved to England, I came across this young woman who had created a new type of horse rug, and she didn't know how to get it out on the market, and so she contacted this horse rug manufacturer, and she didn't have a non-disclosure agreement. She didn't have a copyright clause. She didn't have a registered trademark. She didn't have anything. So she went to this horse rug manufacturer and shared everything with this new horse rug that she had decided to create. And it turned out that they said, well, we're so sorry, we can't help you with this. And so they sent her away. And what then happened was later on, they created that exact horse rug, and it's now on the market. And it's a really great horse rug. I used to own a horse, so I know about that. So that was really devastating for her. And to go back to McDonald's, the two brothers who actually were the inventors of the automation of how to make burgers and all that. They I was watching the film The Founder, and in that, Ray Kroc, he registers the trademark McDonald's, and the brothers didn't know that they had to do that. They thought that they would be safe because it was their name, and actually it turned out that they were then infringing upon his trademark. So basically their business was completely ruined because they hadn't protected their intellectual property.
So your book has a lot of information that they can ask their questions in regards to, preparing themselves in filing the trademark.
So in my book, the book called Control Your Own Copyright, Trademark, and More, that you can find both on my website and on Amazon, there is a little questionnaire at the back of it on page 129, and it helps you assess where you are in the process. Because my book is not just about trademarks, it's about all the different types of intellectual property, but at the back of it to help you assess where you are in the process, because you don't need to register a trademark as the first thing in your business. And this questionnaire just helps you knowing where you are and sort of gives you a guiding light, so to speak.
So your book has a lot of information that they can ask their questions in regards to, preparing themselves in filing the trademark.
So the value of registering a trademark is quite big, because all of the big companies out there, all of them have started small. Obviously, nobody starts out big. That does not happen ever. So think about a company like Apple. They know and understand the value of what it is that they have created. So they have a brand and they have a logo, and the logo is also their trademark, and they stick that onto everything. So once you have something that you know and understand the value of, you can then give it the protection it deserves by registering a trademark. And this is a really, really important thing to do, because if you don't, if you are wanting to take on investors, they can and will perform a hostile takeover. I've seen it so many times. Also, if you are wanting to expand, instead of like just serving the people around you locally, if you want to expand more nationally, having a registered trademark gives you the legal protection that you wouldn't have otherwise. So this is a really, really important step for your business.
Okay, so in filing a trademark is something that people need to understand what are the things that they are filing. I mean, I think I remember you mentioned before that it is about the symbol, it's about the color. I mean, what are the things that they need to really aware of when it comes to, you know, filing a trademark?
Yeah, let me get to that. Just a sec, please. So there are so many different kinds of trademarks. So word marks, figurative marks, shape marks, position marks, color marks, and that they come in two variations: single color and color combination. And just be careful, because they can be quite difficult to obtain. Then you've got the sound marks. If I go da 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 da, you will know instantly that it's McDonald's jingle. You've got multimedia marks. You've got yeah. So these are just the ones that I want to mention right now, and all of that is available in my book, so you can look that up for yourself. It's as a listener, I mean, not you, Marie, because this is really, really valuable to know and understand, because it's not just about one thing, and people also need to understand that when you're wanting to register your mark, you need to think about what is it that you want to do with your business? Where do you want to go? And what are you wanting to do? So I know that you've got loads of trademarks with your different businesses, and I really want to applaud you for that. It is important that people know and understand that they have to get the right classifications. Here in Europe, we call them NICE classifications. I think in America, you just call them classifications, trademark against. So my trademark registered against education, because I want to educate people on the importance of intellectual property, you see.
All right, everyone, for all of you there who's listening to this show, don't go away. We're going to be right back. We are here at the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Wade, and Celeste is the Empress of Trademarks, and she's going to give us more information in our next segments.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Notes, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, KCAA radio.com.
You're listening to Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. I'm your host, Ricky Perry, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and Sports, where we broadcast to over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. If you missed our previous shows, you can watch us on our streaming networks on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and the Android app.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951 378 5316. 951 378 5316.
Welcome back, everyone, here at the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show here on KCAA Radio Network. And we are talking to Celeste, who is the Empress of Trademarks. If you are in business, I think this is something that you really need to pay attention to when it comes to protecting your business, because that is something that we all need to do as a business owner and entrepreneur. So let's continue our conversation, Celeste. I know that you have given some great information in regards to why they need to protect the trademark or their business through trademark. And there are different types of making sure that you get approved. So can you share us some of the things that in terms of what they need to prepare for if they need to file a trademark, or if how are you also going to help them through the process?
So what I do is I assess whatever it is that people bring to me, and then I also perform a trademark search, because that is vital so that you're not infringing upon somebody else's rights. And then obviously once I've cleared all of that, then I will suggest that they can purchase one of my different trademark packages. If you have time for this, I would love to share a short story. I mean, it's a long story, but I'll cut it down really, really short. Did you ever watch the film called The Founder by any chance?
Yes, that's with is that the McDonald's story?
Exactly. Can you remember what happened in it?
As far as I know, is the founder or the guy that came up with the idea, or actually the people that came up with the idea ended up being owned by the guy who partnered with them. Am I right?
So yeah. So what happened was that the two brothers that had come up with the whole idea of automating how you make burgers and stuff like that, which is the basis of McDonald's, they hadn't protected their trademark, and the contract they had was not worth the paper it was written on, to be polite. So what happened was that Ray Kroc, he was a really savvy businessman, as we saw several times in that film, and he realized that they hadn't protected their trademark, so he went ahead and registered it without them knowing that. And when he told them that, they were like, but you can't do that. That's our name. And he said, well, I already have. And so they were going through the contract, and it turns out that he had the better deal. And so that is the importance that I want to convey to people, that you may think that you have the right to something because you were the one who created it. Yeah, well, if somebody is more intelligent than you and swifter than you and has more money than you, well, then maybe you will be the one shortchanged, and you will be left lying in the dust, not knowing what happened to you, because that's exactly what happened to them. They created this whole magnificent system of automating how to create burgers, but they were not intelligent enough to protect their assets or their brand. And so that's how Ray Kroc became the founder instead of them.
Oh, I see. Okay. So so for someone who is starting a business, what are the parts that they need to think about when it comes to trademark? I know we're talking about just the name itself, right? And then there's also the logo, the design of the symbol or the company's logo. And then there's
So actually,
also probably some slogan that needs to be included in there. I mean, what are the things that are basic things that they need to understand in terms of filing a trademark?
so there are many different types of trademarks, actually. So that's
Okay.
also something that people need to know about, because what you're talking about is you're talking about the word mark, which is the name itself. Then there is the logo, which we refer to. People can't see that, but behind me is my own trademark, which is a figurative mark. So there are also shape marks, position marks, pattern brands, color marks, and color marks come in two variations: single color and color combination. And then there are sound marks, multimedia marks, and just to mention a few of them. So what people need to do is realize, okay, what is it that they actually want? And to go back to McDonald's, if I go da 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 da, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows that jingle. And that is the jingle of McDonald's.
Okay.
And what that does is it connects people on a much deeper level to the brand. So these are all things that people need to consider. What is it exactly that they want? Where do they want to reach their audience? Because I'm pretty sure that with your radio show, you also have a jingle that goes in front of it. And if you're very, very savvy, you will have registered that as your trademark as well. Think about the roaring lion of MGM. Think about the sound that any Mac computer opens up with. Think about, I mean, the list is endless, really. Even the car manufacturers, they will register the sound that the door makes as a trademark.
Wow.
And
So
with
there's a lot more.
Sorry?
There's a lot more to consider for filing trademarks because I was thinking in my mind, it's just the name of the company, the logo, and you're talking about other things that they need to consider, like the sound and the color. So there's so
Yeah.
many combinations. So it could get really expensive for someone that's just starting out a business. Is that?
And
Is
I
that
would
the case?
say to not do it, the minute you open your business, unless you are somebody really, really wealthy. Don't worry about it from the very start. Make sure that you've got non-disclosure agreements in place, because they're also really, really important. Um, Make sure that you have got copyright clauses. These things are all intellectual property, and all intellectual property goes hand in hand. I'm creating like a little thing with my two hands here. People won't see that because it's a radio show, but you can see it. And what I'm trying to say is that all the intellectual property goes hand in hand, thus creating a stronger shield of protection for your business. And this is really key to know. The really successful businesses have loads and loads and loads of intellectual property in various different categories. You mentioned that you yourself have several trademarks, and I cannot applaud you anymore, because that means to me that you are a really, really savvy businesswoman. So I want to
Thank you.
congratulate you on that.
Thank
Think
you.
about someone like, what's her name? Dolly Parton. She is an incredibly savvy businesswoman, right? She has Dollywood. And she was at one point in history requested to let Elvis Presley record one of her songs. She was crying all night long because she did not want to, because she knew that if he did, it would be really successful. But also she knew that the terms of the contract stipulated that he would have to have half of her royalties. And because she's a savvy businesswoman, she did not want that.
Okay.
What she got with Whitney Houston back in the day was that Whitney Houston got permission to record that very, very beautiful song, I will always love you. I can't remember the title of it, but you know the song that I'm talking about from Bodyguard, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Very popular song.
Yes. So she was given permission to record it by Dolly Parton, but Dolly Parton had written it, and she wasn't nearly as successful with it as Whitney Houston was. She retained the copyright and so she got royalty. So Whitney Houston, in effect, has made her a very, very wealthy woman.
Okay, but
So there's
you're
a
talking
reason.
about copyright versus trademarks, right?
Well, don't see it as versus. Don't see it as versus, because it's intellectual property, and so because she has such a strong brand, people will recognize her. And Whitney Houston had a strong brand. I don't know if Whitney actually registered any brand. I'm pretty sure that Dolly Parton has, maybe not her name, but she has Dollywood. I'm pretty sure that's a trademark. I haven't looked it up, but I'm pretty sure that because she is really intelligent. So what it is that, yes, a trademark is a stronger form of protection, but all the intellectual property goes hand in hand, as I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
And because she is so savvy, Dolly Parton, she knows that her brand is really strong, and then people will recognize her for what she is, and her songwriting prowess.
Okay. Wow.
So all of these things are parts of building up the brand, you see.
Okay. Well, that is really a good information for our audience and listeners, because they need to really understand the value and the importance of trademark and even copyright or anything about intellectual properties.
Yes.
So that is something, and that also would require a good lawyer. Am I right? Not just
Yes.
someone that can process the trademarks. They have to have good contracts and they have to have good
Yes.
stipulations in there.
Absolutely, that is so correct. And what is also important is that in America, it is strongly recommended that people take whatever they want to copyright and register it with the Writers Guild. Don't go anywhere else. The Writers Guild, East or West in America, that's the place to register your copyright.
Okay.
Because and the copyright is in the European countries.
Let's do this, Celeste. We're running out of time here, but
right.
We're gonna continue what you're gonna say in our next segment. I'm really excited about this. It's really awesome information. But for everyone you out there, don't go away. We will be right back, and we are here at the International Wealth Builders. I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Wait, and we'll see you in our next segment.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You're listening to Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. I'm your host, Ricky Perry, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and Sports, where we broadcast over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. If you missed our previous shows, you can watch us on our streaming networks on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and the Android app.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Wait and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Wait is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewait.com or call her at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316.
Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Wait, and we are here every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And make sure that you look for our show. We are available on all podcast streaming channels. Just look for it on any of your favorite podcasts. And we are also available on Roku TV Amazon Fire TV, and Android app. And let's go ahead and continue our conversation with Celeste, the Empress of Trademarks. So, Celeste, you were saying in regards to the importance of intellectual properties and having the right lawyer and putting together the contract. So go ahead and continue what you were saying.
So yeah, so that all of that is absolutely correct. So what I was about to say is that there are different lifespans to copyrights. So let me start by saying that in some countries it is life plus 50 years. So that is so while you are alive, you own the copyright to what you created, and then for 50 years after you have passed away. Then in the European countries, it is life plus 70 years, and there's actually, I think it looks like it's Mexico that has 100 years after you've passed away. I have this, people won't see that, but this is something, an illustration I have found on the internet by someone called Balfour Smith, Kenneth Guy, and it's an original image from Duke University, and it is it shows people the various
and that was included in your book.
Yes, it's in my book.
Showed. Okay, so can we show again what's the title of the book again for the people that are listening right now? So the book is
called Control Your Own Copyright, Trademark and More, and it can be found on Amazon.
And by Celeste.
Yeah, and okay. My name is Celeste Reitmott-Reifen. I don't try to pronounce it because it'll break your throat.
So that is CELESTEREUMERTREFN. That is the
Correct.
name of the book. So you can find it at the Amazon. There's a lot of great information for you out there to learn some of the things that you need to know about protecting your business. Okay, so
Can I just say something about the length of a trademark? Because so the trademark can actually exist virtually indefinitely, so long as there are people around who see and understand the value of what you created.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that so in various countries, you renew after 10 years. In Canada, it's after 15 years. And in America, I know that you have to provide proof of use after 5 years. So that's an important detail also to remember. So that's the difference between copyrights and trademarks. Copyrights is only a certain amount of time, and then it goes into public domain, whereas the trademark, you can renew it continually every 10 to 15 years, and it can stay in possession of the people who are there to take care of it, so to speak.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So let me ask you this. If we can take just the basic steps for them to, consider preparing if they are ready to file a trademark, what are the things that they need to have and they need to understand in regards to the process of filing the trademark?
So the process can be very, very complex for somebody who wants to do it themselves.
Okay.
What I've done actually in my book, again, is I've created a little questionnaire for people to assess their own brand knowledge.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Yeah, this is a really, really, and it's only for their own sake. It's not that anything that I require for them to send to me. It's just for them to understand, where am I? Am I ready to do this? And what is also important to know and understand is that once you've decided that you've got something that you think you can register, you have to think, where am I going in future with this? Do I want to stay in my local area as a little tiny thing? It can be a family-run business, and that can be very valuable to people. Or do I want to go all over America, which is a massive market, as we know? Or do I want to take it even further out? It is important to know and understand that there are no global trademarks. You can get 27 countries in one fell swoop by registering a European trademark. What is also important to know and understand is, if the mark falls in one of the nations the member nations of the European Union, it will fall in all 27 in one fell swoop. So national registrations can be really, really valuable. Actually, McDonald's was having issues with an Irish fast food chain, and their mark fell in almost all 27 European countries, except for Sweden, where they had a national registration. So that is also really, really important to know and understand.
Okay. Well, that is interesting because, you know,
good protection. So it means that your mark is being monitored. I don't know if you're aware of that, but something that you have to do as a trademark owner is to monitor your brand yourself. You cannot expect other people to do it unless you ask them to. And so what needs to be done is that you need to, once something like that happens, that somebody else is wanting to register something with you that resembles your trademark or is confusingly similar, you have to then say, fingers off, hands off, this is my territory. You know, you have put a stake in the ground and you have to fight it off. Okay. Otherwise, it becomes void and null. Actually, nylon used to be a registered trademark, and let me just see if I can remember where I wrote about the marks that have gone into public domain, because once something that you've got is no longer, if you don't uphold your mark, then it becomes public domain, and that means that you can no longer make money from your thing, which is devastating because the reason you created it in the first place was to make money.
Wow, that is really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's good for people to really you know, connect with you and really understand.
And actually, this is my book again is a really, really great place to start, because there's so much information in here. Even about something called a well-known mark. Did you know that there's something called a well-known mark?
What is a well-known mark?
In determining whether a mark is a well-known mark, the competent authority shall take into account any circumstances from which it may be inferred that the mark is well known. These marks do enjoy protection in most countries against infringements such as reproduction, imitation, or translation of the mark in question, provided that the people in the relevant sector would become confused by it. Okay. It is important to note that while there is no detailed definition that has been commonly agreed on as to what constitutes a well-known mark, member states may take advantage of the WIPO joint recommendation concerning provisions on the protection of well-known marks. Okay. So it's not something that is set in stone. It is really, really difficult to decide. So, okay, here
what's a good example of that, Celeste?
A well-known mark is Coco Chanel.
Oh, Coco Chanel. Okay, yeah. So no one can really create something that would be closer to that, like Coke. You know, anything.
Coke is also considered a well-known mark. I'm pretty sure of.
Nike. Those are the kind of well-known marks, right?
Yeah, and so these enjoy a stronger form of protection than my trademark does, which is normal. So I was going to try to find the degeneration or genericide of trademarks, and aspirin, escalator, flip phone, laundromat, zipper, thermos, Walkman, and cellophane are all marks that have become genericized, which means they are now in the public domain, which means that the people who had them registered as trademarks can no longer claim them as their own and can no longer use them as their brands, and cannot any longer build up the reputation, because that's what we do with our brands. We build up the reputation surrounding the thing that we're doing. Ferrari's Testarossa has also fallen victim to dilution or degeneration, and they were not able to uphold their mark in Germany. Xerox is also really, really adamant that consumers don't say that they're going to Xerox something, but to take a photocopy. I'm pretty sure that you've heard people say, I'm just going to Xerox this. At a certain point in time, that was what people would say, but Xerox doesn't want that. Google is the only company that wants you to say that you're Googling something.
Oh, okay.
And that's a verb. But they want it because they like it, so they encourage it. They're not fighting that. For them, that is just part of their branding.
Mm-hmm.
But for Xerox, it's not part of their branding to say that we're going to Xerox something. They want you to photocopy something.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
We also had Hoover back in the day. People would say, oh, I'm just going to Hoover something. Yeah, well, you're not going to Hoover something. You're going to vacuum something.
Wow. Well, so this is so all interesting. Great information, Celeste. We're going to take a commercial break. And again, for everyone out there who's listening to our show, this is so incredible with Celeste. Make sure that you take notes of everything that you're learning from her. This is the International Wealth Builders. I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and we will be right back.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You're listening to Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. I'm your host, Ricky Perry, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and Sports, where we broadcast over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. If you missed our previous shows, you can watch us on our streaming networks on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and the Android app.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951-378-5316, 951-378-5316.
Welcome back, everyone, here at the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show here on KCAA Radio. Make sure that you tune in every Saturday at 1 p.m. here on KCAA Radio. And we are also available on your favorite podcast streaming channels like iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, Spreaker, Rumble, Tickle Live, you name it, we are in there. And for the TV streaming channels, we are also available on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android under Building Solid Foundations channel. Let's go ahead and continue our conversation with Celeste, who is the Empress of Trademarks, and she is her business is in London. So, Celeste, so what can you share to our listeners in regards to their business and making sure that they understand what they need to do when it comes to filing trademarks and copyrights and making sure they protect the business itself?
So first of all, realizing that whatever it is that they have created has value. And once they realize that, because people have a tendency to think, oh, this is not special and la, la, la. Forget that, because you are put here to shine your light so brightly. And in doing so and taking ownership of that, you are allowing other people to do the same. So that is really, really important. And so when you're wanting to do these things, you can totally do some of it yourself, like registering your copyright with the Writers Guild. No big deal. You can do that yourself. When it comes to the trademarks, though, be careful what you do and choose somebody that you trust, because it is the trust that is the foundation of all relationships, whether we like it or not. That's just the way it is. And so when you choose somebody that you trust, make sure that you get all the classifications. With that, I mean, what are you doing with your business? Are you only ever going to do, say, real estate? I'm using you here as an example, Marie, because I know that you do real estate.
Yes.
You also have a talk show, you have TV programs, you have magazine coverage. So you have many, many things, and people have to put all of that into their trademark. I know that you have several different trademarks. Many people will only have one. And what they can do is they can put that trademark onto many things the way Apple does. Apple is a computer company first and foremost. They have expanded massively. And because they have such a strong brand, they put that onto everything. And
Okay.
that's what I want to say here, finishing off.
Okay. And so Celeste, what is the best way? Again, they have to get your book. And can we say the title of the book again?
Yes, it's called Control Your Own Copyright, Trademark, and More, a must-have book on intellectual property for the savvy business owner. And it can be found on Amazon. And I will be sure to send you the information and the link to it on Amazon so that you can include it in the show notes.
Now, what if they wanted to connect with you, Celeste? Is that a possibility for them?
Yes, LinkedIn is the easiest place to find me.
Mm-hmm.
And put in the Empress of Trademarks. I'm pretty sure there are nobody else other than me that go by that name. So
oh, I love that, Celeste, the Empress of Trademarks. So there you go, everyone. Make sure that you connect with Celeste. She is an amazing connection that I was able to connect with through David Fagan. David Fagan is an amazing business leader in town. If you wanted to connect with more people in the business world, check out David Fagan, because he is awesome. He is doing a lot of work at the another country, right? Are you going to that project that he's doing in South Africa, or was that right?
He's doing something in Kenya, if I remember
Kenya.
correctly.
Okay.
And it sounds so exciting. I'm not going this time, maybe next time.
Okay, but I wanted to just be appreciative to David's, because if it weren't for him, you and I would have not been connected here. And I am
Absolutely.
thankful for your time, Celeste, because this is really awesome for a lot of people that are trying to build their wealth. And we want to make sure that they understand how to protect their wealth when it comes to running a business. And in this show, that's what that is our goal, is to be able to provide good information for them that they can learn and that they can execute and implement into their business. So make sure you support our show. Let your connections know that we are here every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And if you are wanting to connect with Celeste, definitely check her out on LinkedIn. I'm definitely gonna. Are we connected already on LinkedIn, Celeste? I'm not
Yes,
sure.
we are.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So also find me on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions about this show, you can call me at 951-378-5316. Again, that's 951-378-5316. And if you want to meet more amazing business professionals, experts, I'm actually doing an event on November 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the DoubleTree Hotel here in San Diego. And you're going to expect a lot of people there. We're expecting about 300 people. So definitely get your tickets. And it's going to be available at fireuplive.com. That's FIREUPLIVE.com. So check it out. And again, my number is 951-378-5316. Well, I want to thank you, Celeste, for being here today. And I hope that you can join us on November here in the United States. I know you're in in Europe. But I would love for you to come here in US and we can get to meet in person. And again, I'm very thankful for all the information that you have shared with us today here at the International Wealth Builders. Also, keep in mind, everyone, that the International Wealth Builders Association is a organization here in San Diego, and we meet every first Thursdays of the month here at the DoubleTree Hotel. It starts at 6 o'clock p.m. until 9 p.m. And this month, September 7th, that's upcoming, is going to be three amazing panelists, and I have a featured speaker. Her name is Dr. Mansi Shah, and she's going to talk about international foreign exchange services that they provide. And also, we have a panelist, which is attorney Michael Pollan, who's an international real estate expert. We also have Dan Reddick, who is the president of the San Diego Creative Investors Association. And I believe we also have Bill Tan, who is the president of the Los Angeles Real Estate Investment Association. So we have amazing panelists that's coming in on September 7th at the DoubleTree Hotel with the International Wealth Builders Association. All right, I think I covered that, and thank you again for everything, Celeste. I hope you come back, and for all of you
Thank
out
you
there,
for having me.
yes, thank you, and have an amazing day. Always look for ways to build your wealth, and watch our show so you can learn more. Thank you very much. Bye now.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Missed something today, yesterday, last week? Check out our podcasts at www.kcaaradio.com. We leave no listener behind.
Let's say you're a millionaire. That's a lot of money, right? Now let's say you're a billionaire. That's a lot more money. But how much more? Think of all those dollars as seconds on a clock. 1,000,000 seconds would total 11 days. But 1,000,000,000 seconds equals nearly 32 years. Rich is nice, but billionaire rich is over the moon. And the wealth of billionaires is now zooming out of this world. There are only 2,200 of these uber-rich dudes in the world, but the wealth stashed away by these elites hit a new record this summer, averaging more than $4 billion each. On average, they've even pocketed an extra $500 million in the midst of the COVID-19 economic crash. Bear in mind that these fortunate few did nothing to earn this haul. They didn't work harder, didn't get one digit smarter.